We are back at it in the beautiful world of algebra, starting with Chapter 2, Section 7. And this section is just about similarity, which is just things that are proportional. So I'm going to attempt to make two right triangles, and I'm going to tell you right away that my drawing is definitely not to scale. But I will tell you that this is the right angle, and if this is 7 meters, which is not to scale, and if this is 0.2 meters, and if this is 1 meter, and if we know that these are corresponding because this angle is the same and this angle is the same, then we know that we have similar triangles. So the proportion from here to here is going to be the same for every side length. So to figure out what that proportion is, you could either do 7 divided by 0.2, or you could do 0.2 divided by 7, and then you'll have to, depending on which way you do it, it depends if you multiply or divide to get the opposite side. Okay, so how about we do 0.2 divided by 7. So we're doing the smaller divided by the bigger. Again, you could do the opposite way, not a big deal. So you're going to pop up your calculator. 0.2 on remnants from yesterday's video. So the proportion is 0.02857. So basically, if you think about this, 7 times 0.02857 will give 0.2. So the big times the proportion will give the small. So if I want to find this, we could call this side F for fun fill-a-pack. All right, so F times 0.02857 will equal 1. So to solve that, we would have to do 1 divided by 0.02, all that jazz. So go back to your calculator and do 1 divided by, and instead of typing that decimal in, you can hit second and then the negative key, which is way at the bottom in the white, and that puts the last answer in. That is very helpful. So 35 is our answer to that side. And then just make sure it makes sense. Is this sort of making sense? I mean, 1 is definitely bigger than this. So yeah, 35 seems legit. And we don't know the third side. You can find it with the Pythagorean theorem, but we have not done that yet. So you would only be able to find the third side if you knew one of them. Let's go ahead and say that that third side is 1.04. Then, could you find, this is the new question. You can call that any letter you want. We could call it P because to get that third side, you would need to do the Pythagorean theorem. So, question mark times 0.02857 would equal 1.04. So you would have to do 1.04 divided by that decimal. So let's go to the calculator. 1.04 divided by, we can't do the answer this time because the last answer was 35. So 0.02857, and you will get 36.4, and that makes some good sense too because that should be the longest side. And when in doubt, go 3 decimals out. 0.04, I think that's what I said. You will notice that this is the biggest angle, giving the biggest side, and that they are small, medium, big, small, medium, biggest. So really, proportional triangles is all that next section is about, which I'm really not concerned that you understand that. We're going to move on to percents. Okay, if you had the question, find 28% of 30, hopefully you would know that you would do of means times. So you would put the percent in decimals. Some people like to think of it as 28 over 100. Some people like to think of it as 0.28. It's the same thing. If the decimal terminates, you can write it in decimal form. It really doesn't matter. So 0.28 times, I'm going to put a parentheses because if you put a dot for times, it just becomes a little tricky of, is this a decimal, is this a times, and then 30. So 0.28 times 30 is going to be our answer. Now before we put it in the calculator, 28% of 30 should be definitely less than 15. 15 is half of 30. So just in your mind, kind of know what you're planning on looking for. So 0.28 times 30 is 8.4. That makes good sense. So we are thinking we did this right. We have like an internal celebration going on. All right, I'll give you another one. What percent of 50 is 33? So if you were to just take this sentence and put it into an equation, what percent is your unknown? So we will call that x. Of means times 50 is means equals 33. So just looking at this equation, you can actually solve for x. Divide both sides by 50. So 33 divided by 50. So this percent, it should be more than half. 33 is more than half of 50. So again, just in your mind, kind of get in your brain about the ballpark of what it should be. It is just easy to make small mistakes. So it's good to be mindful and make sure your answer is making sense to your senses. So 0.66. So x equals 0.66. The question said what percent? 0.66 is the decimal. That is the 66 over 100. So the answer is 66%. And there were no decimals. If there were, you might as well go 3 decimals out just to be safe. So 40% of what number is 14. This is our next exciting problem to tackle. 40%. You're going to put that into a decimal of 0.4, or you could do 40 over 100. So 0.4 is 40% of mean times. What number is the unknown? So that is your x. That's your equal sign, 14. So to solve this, you would just divide by 0.4. And then again, before we go dividing, let's just think 40% of what number is 14. It's going to have to be close to double 14 because 50% of 28 is 14. So it's going to be up there. So in the calculator, 14 divided by 0.4. Oh, we are so blessed to just have a calculator at our fingertips. That is so pretty. 35. So it is a bit above 28. We are feeling like rock stars right now because we kind of were knowing the ballpark of what we were looking for, and we got that. So hooray, what a great day. I think we could do one more section. So the next section is the lovely formula, I equals PRT, and this just means that interest equals principal, so that's starting amount, times the rate, which is the percent in decimal form, times the time. So basically, you'll just be given a situation and you plug the numbers in and then you solve for the one that you don't know. So if we have interest paid for 3 years on a $2,500 loan at 11.5% per year, we would need to solve for the missing thing. So we're solving for the interest. So I equals PRT. So I equals principal, 2,500. Rate, this needs to be in decimal, 0.115. You just move it over twice to go from percent to decimal. You could also think of it as 11.5 over 100 and do that out. Times time, and that is 3 years. And then we're going to go to the calculator. $2,500 times 0.115 times 3 is $862.50. So your interest would be 86250. So that's the answer of your interest. We will do one more. I'm going to go away from this. That's fine. Okay, so if you earn a salary of $26,000 plus commission of 5% of sales, and if your sales for the year are $300,000, what would the total pay be for the year? So you would have to do the $300,000 times the 5% interest, so, or commission, which is 0.05. 5% is 0.05. So this answer is going to give you how much money you make off of your sales, and then you have your base salary of $26,000. So 300,000 times 5% is $15,000 plus the $26,000 is a total of $41,000. So that's how much this person would have made total. I'm going to try one more quick problem before people start walking in here. If you had a $30 shirt that you wanted to buy and you needed to figure out how much it was with sales tax, which is 6%, you could just do 30, and instead of times 0.06, if you put a 1 in front of it, it'll actually add in the 30, so you don't need to do the second addition. So 30 times 1.06. So the total is $31.80. If you just did the 30 times the 0.06, you would see that it's $1.80, and then you'd have to add it. So if you just add the 1 right away, you will get the final answer. All right, people are coming in, so have a lovely evening.